Hi spooky friends and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Today you'll know by the title, I'm officially entering New York City prep mode. I'm going to be focusing on reading creepy books set in New York City, and I'm officially so excited. So in this video I'm going to be outlining things that I have already done for the prep. We also have some things that we need to do, and also I'm going to tell you about the books that I'm going to be reading. So we're starting off with Nestlings by Nat Cassidy. I'm not going to be telling you much about these books. I think it's best if I just tell you about them during my review stages. Nestlings, though, is like Rosemary's Baby meets Salem's Lot, and I'm here for it. I'm so excited to finally read this book. I've had it on my shelf for over a year. I picked this up in Toronto, and I didn't know at the time I was going to New York City this soon, so perfect that I've kept it here for this long. But I'm really excited to finally read this book. The next one is another book I'm so excited to read, and that's Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. This is my Evernight edition. I love this so much. This is a pandemic based story. It's following ghosts and racial injustice, I believe. So I'm intrigued nonetheless and so excited to read these books. The last one I don't have a physical copy for, but that is The New Couple at 5B by Lisa Unger. This is like your haunted high rise set in New York City. It's a thriller story, and I don't know how I'm going to get along with thrillers because I'm kind of like dipping my enjoyment away from thrillers. So it should be interesting when I do get around to reading that one. But I am going to be starting with Nestlings because this is the one I am most intrigued by. And while I'm reading these books, I'm going to be doing some prep as well. I have bought our Broadway shows, so I'll be seeing Beetlejuice the musical, which I am buzzing for. I didn't expect that it would be returning to Broadway for the third time. So as soon as I seen that, I was like, we're going. I don't care. Been wanting to see this musical for so long. It's my favorite movie of all time, and I just love Beetlejuice. So I'm so intrigued and so excited that we were able to book those tickets. I bought those literally the week that it was announced that it was going back to Broadway. So those are bought. We're also going to see Death Becomes Her because that's one of my mum's favorite movies, and I must admit I do enjoy that one myself. So we've done that. Those are our two Broadway shows. I've bought our Christmas Spectacular with the Rockettes. That is already booked. That's what we're doing on the final morning of our trip. And I think it's just going to be like the perfect way to end a Christmassy time in New York City. And another one that I have just recently bought, and that is our hockey tickets. I'm so excited to be going to my second NHL game, which is the New York Rangers versus, I can't remember who they're facing. I think it might be Dallas Stars, but I'm not entirely sure. Nonetheless, that is literally the first thing we're doing when we land. It is on our first night, and I was in two minds if we were going to be able to do that. But my mum says to go ahead, so she's quite excited for that too. Some things I do still need to do. I do have my list literally right below me. So the things I do need to get done, I need to finish the city passes. I just need to buy those. Now we've confirmed that we're only going to be doing the 4 attraction pass. So once those are done, I can buy that and then book the reservations as well. I need to book myself in for a haircut because this is starting to get really long again. I will be dyeing my own hair. I like to do that myself. Saves me some money. I'll be booking myself in for a haircut. I also need to buy an eSIM for America. I need to outline what I'm going to pack because it is kind of like the start of winter. We're going early December, so I need to figure out what I want to pack, what I need to buy, because I think my jeans are on the way out and I need some new ones. So we've got some things that we need to do. I also need to empty my suitcase currently because it's full of summer things that I haven't even looked at this year. So those are the things that I need to do, that I will kind of film here and there, parts that I can film. So grab yourself a cozy drink and settle in, because I think this might be a long one. And I guess let's just read some scary New York City books together. So I'm ready to get into this New York City planning, and hopefully my adventure in New York won't be as unsettling as I'm going to be experiencing in these books. But let's start with Nestlings, and I will check back in when I finish the book and we have some more things to tick off my to-do list. So I've been so productive and I'm so happy that things are moving forward. I have booked my hair appointment for the end of the month, so we will be redying that before the haircut appointment. So we're really moving forward with the whole look side of things. The city passes have been bought as well, and I did try to look at the reservations, but I can't book anything until I think 10 days before we land, or like we'll be in the country. So I have to wait until closer to the time to do the reservations. Another thing is I can't do the city night harbour lights tour, I think it's called. I have to do that in person. So when we land, I have to go straight there, book our tickets for the next day, and then we can start the New York activities. And so I've kind of had to factor that into my itinerary. I've reworked this itinerary for the 6 days so many times, working around shows and different activities that we already have booked. So that's been interesting, and hopefully that is it finalized now. Of course, when we're there, things can change, and I'm kind of anticipating that to happen anyway. But the things that are set in stone now. So things are looking really good. I also now have the United app on my phone, so we're really getting close. I've got my mum her special assistance sorted, and also my special meal on the flight as well. So we are really productive. I haven't been able to film pretty much any of that because it's just all digital and there's like no real reason to film. It would be really boring for you anyway. But you would have seen that I did go shopping, and we picked up some bits. So I'm going to show you that now. You would have seen that I went to a couple shops and of course stopped to look at some books in the supermarket, because what is this channel if we don't stop to look at books? So the first thing I bought was my hair dye, because like I said in the beginning, I am going to be dyeing my hair myself. It's already starting to fade quite a lot, so I kind of just want to refresh that before I go. So I'll be doing that myself and then getting my own haircut at the appointment. We also got like a little travel shower gel, so that'll do me for the week. I have this shampoo. I do have a mini conditioner already, I believe, which is why I only got the Restore and Smooth shampoo to take with us. My mum will probably end up using this as well. And then part of the 3 for 2 deal, I also got myself a little mini body spray. I don't need anything fancy. I'm going to try and take as little as possible. These 3 will be enough. And if we need anything when we're there, I'm obviously going to be buying a shit ton of stuff. Because this is the first holiday I'm actually taking a suitcase with me. So you best believe I'm bringing back all the American stuff that I want. And I'm here for it. I'm so excited. And the rest of the stuff is for my boyfriend. So those are like the little mini things just to help me along. I do need to make a list of what I need to pack from here. But those were 3 little things that I knew I didn't have small versions of that I needed to pick up. So those are the things that I have done. Like I said, been very productive. And whilst being very productive, I also read Nestlings. I have finished this and I really loved my time with this book. It was such an incredible read and I've been really enjoying physically reading, which has probably made my enjoyment of this book a lot better. The writing style is incredible. Really love Nat Cassidy's writing. It's making me excited to pick up Mary, which is also on my shelf, and When the Wolf Comes Home, but I'm not going to get to those anytime soon. I think that's a 2026 TBR, basically. So Nestlings is following Anna and Reed. They move into a new apartment. So this apartment they won on like a lottery. When they got the chance to move in, they obviously went for it. And the apartment does start to become a little bit weird. And over time, we kind of start to feel like the eerie creepiness within Nat Cassidy's writing. And Anna is disabled and she lives on like one of the top floors. So she starts to become kind of like wary of that. And she also has a young child that she has to take care of. And her neighbors have been acting weird. And there's a lot going on in this apartment. And I feel like the pacing definitely helps with the eeriness within the story. The story could have been a lot more fast paced, but I think you would lose a lot of the eeriness, which makes this book stand out. And I thoroughly loved everything about this book. It did read very similar to Rosemary's Baby, with your like vampire twist, like Salem's Lot, which is why it's probably marketed as such. But it is really creepy, and I give it 4.5 stars. I really love my time with it, and it does talk about New York as like this apartment block just doesn't fit into the city. It's so old, it's so mysterious, and the apartment block is a character by itself, and it's just so intriguing. And I thoroughly loved reading this. I think if you're into your slower burn horror, I definitely recommend Nestlings. I'm so happy I started off with this book. It's definitely started this vlog off in such a positive way. With that, whilst I'm preparing my other areas that I need to be working on, I will be reading Bat Eater. I've been wanting to read this book since the start of this year, and when I found out it's set in New York, I thought this would be the perfect time and the perfect chance for me to delve into this story. And so this will be the next book that I pick up and read with the next set of things I need to take off my to-do list. So let's get into it. I'm jumping in here really quickly to give you some updates. I have dyed my hair. As you can see, it is refreshed for the trip. I go in about 2 weeks' time. I have done that. I've also bought some new clothes for the trip. I do also have to go out again to pick up like a new jumper and some thermals because I realized I don't actually have any thermals, so I do need to get those. But I will bring you along on that journey. I'm going after I get my hair cut next Friday, so that will be in the next side of the clips and also with the next book update. But in this part, we have Bat Eater. And oh my god, I love this book so much. 5-star read. This is so gross. It's so dark. It's a great commentary on how people were treated during the coronavirus outbreak pandemic. And for such a short book, it does really pack a punch. I thought this writing style was incredible. I'm so intrigued to see what Kylie Lee Baker comes out with next. I think her 2026 book is Japanese Gothic, Gothic Japanese, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I will pop a picture up of her next book, but I think that might be it. Okay, so I have already given you my thoughts on Bat Eater, but I realized when editing this up to this portion of this video, I didn't actually tell you much about Bat Eater. So it's following Cora, who lives in New York City. Cora is of Asian descent, and her and her sister kind of live together in New York doing their own thing. And when the pandemic kind of hits, like the social aspect of being Asian in the city shifts and people kind of look at you different. And so one day they are using the subway and someone pushes her sister into an oncoming train and shouts Bat Eater. The book does a really good job of highlighting what that community went through during the pandemic. And so Cora was there, she's seen everything. The descriptions were so gory as well. It's a really insightful look into this social issue that came up during this time. I don't usually enjoy pandemic stories, but I really enjoyed reading Bat Eater. And so Cora, going back to the actual story, Cora takes up a job as a cleaner, ends up becoming a crime scene cleaner, and stumbles upon different crime scenes within the Chinatown area, and kind of discovers that there's a real big issue of crime against Asians. She takes it upon herself to become a detective and also faces a lot of demons physically and mentally, because there is demons kind of like following her around and pushing her to do certain things. It's such an incredible story. I love how gory it was, and I guess I will go back to past me. It's so incredible. I loved reading this so much, and I think it's given me a kind of look into the neighborhoods in New York, especially within the Chinatown area. And that's where this is kind of mainly set. And of course, the subways. I don't know what else to kind of talk about in this book other than it's like a masterpiece. I think this is definitely one of the best books I've read in 2025. I kind of wish I read this a lot sooner than now at the end of the year, especially when it did come out. But nevertheless, I did really enjoy reading it at the time that I read it. It's given me an idea of what New York kind of looks like in a more horrific way. Of course, I'm not taking any of these books as literal facts. They are obviously fiction, they are horror fiction, but as a girly who loves horror books, doing this like location based reading is so much fun. I will say it probably would make more sense to immersive read. So reading a horror based in New York whilst in New York, but I don't want to do that. I probably will not have enough time to be reading in New York. I have so much to see and do. So I wanted to kind of prepare myself for New York by reading these horrible books, which are actually incredible, by the way. I'm not saying they're horrible to read. Such incredible stories. And I think this one is definitely my favorite. Um, I do like Nestlings, but I think Bat Eater hits a whole lot more. It's more emotional. It's like really dark and it touches your heartstrings. And I do love me some ghostly activity. So that's Bat Eater, 5-star read. The next book I am reading is The New Couple at 5B by Lisa Unger. I think that's the title. Popping a picture up. I am starting that on audio. I don't have it physically, and that will be something I listen to whilst I finish the preparations. And I also need to empty my suitcase. So I will probably be emptying the suitcase, figuring out what I'm packing whilst listening along to that audiobook, and then I will check back in with my thoughts on that thriller story then. So thank you so much for continuing to watch this, and let me know if you've been to New York, what your favorite thing was about the city, and I will catch you in the next clip.
Walking away, my Alfred Davidson goes through Renaissance man, ever work on his overture. You, standing on solid ground, reaching. Me, on the ledge, looking down. All around me stars, stars in the sky. A sea of field glittering, distant celestial bodies. Each light of life, each life a doorway, a possibility. As the now thought of my work, the way I disappear into someone else. I shed myself daily, slipping into other skins, so that more comfortable in my own. Don't, you say, don't do this. It doesn't have to be this way. Hear all the notes of desperation, fear, that seem discordant and wild. A cacophony in my own heart.
So it's time to give you another little bit of an update. I have managed to empty the suitcase, get it all ready for New York. It's now emptied, the outside has been wiped down. I've reset my code so I can lock it and then unlock it and not be locked out. I have 3 days until I do go and get my hair cut and check out the shops. I would like to get a new jumper. I realize I don't actually need a thick thermal layer because it's not actually going to be as cold as I was expecting it to be in New York. But I will keep an eye on weather updates that I keep seeing pop up on TikTok. So I'll keep following that to see what I might need to add into my packing list. But I will get some leggings or some kind of thermal tights to kind of just pack just in case, because I don't think I'll need them, but if I do, I want to have them there anyway. I have finished my book already, The New Couple in 5B. I've been calling it at 5B, and that's kind of been annoying because I have pre-edited up to this point, and I kept saying at 5B. It's clearly in 5B. So yes, I have finished that book, but I think I will hold back on my full thoughts on that until the end, and I will give you my final rating on the story then. But I guess I'll give you a little bit of an update on what the story is, because knowing me, I will probably forget to give you a synopsis of the story, because I tend to do that apparently. So, The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger is a story that is very similar to Rosemary's Baby, and also Nestlings as well. A little less on the horror side and more just like a domestic thriller, but there are heavy similarities between the two. We're following a couple who get a apartment in New York City as a inheritance, having looked after a sick relative, and they end up moving in, and it used to be one big apartment, but it was split into two. So they have neighbors right next door. They become quite close to them, and we're following like their whole life journey. It's very much a domestic, like I said. It is just, here's what the husband does, here's what the wife does. This is all happening within the apartment block. So it's very boring in that sense. But I think for me, I was reading horror beforehand. Moving into the thriller is kind of like a step down. But I will admit, I did enjoy the story. I will get into my final thoughts and full review for you after I finish my final shopping and the haircut as well. So I can end it off with something looking a little bit different, hopefully. And I will do some more packing. That's literally almost everything I have to do for this video. I might need to buy my insurance. I haven't done that part yet. So I definitely need to do that either today or tomorrow. So that still needs to be done. But everything else is in hand. I am like, at this point in time, 6 days away from flying to New York. And it's starting to like get real, and I'm very, very excited. I really hope the trip goes well. I am basically the main planner and the person who's doing all of the directions and has all the tickets and everything. This trip is definitely one that has taken a lot of time for me, but it's definitely going to be a trip of a lifetime, and I'm so excited to share it with my mum.